Marcus Valerius is a Roman soldier who, alongside his wife Livia and his son Gaius, lives a peaceful life in Rome. His duty as a soldier takes him on long and arduous missions, but he always returns to his family with a sense of accomplishment. Marcus's simple, routine daily life is marked by the constant hope that he will never have to face the true brutality of war. He is proud to serve the empire, but fate leads him on a mission outside Pompeii, where the once prosperous and vibrant city is about to be consumed by the violence of a natural disaster.
Vesuvius erupts while Marcus is away from home, and the soldier, hearing the distant sounds of destruction, rushes back to Pompeii. However, his journey will not be fast enough to save his family. Upon arrival, he finds the city engulfed in lava and ash, and the air is heavy with the smell of death. The silence of the abandoned city is the first sign that something more than human lives was consumed that day. The bodies of the victims are petrified, immortalized by the heat of the lava, but Marcus can no longer turn back. His life would be irreparably changed from that moment on.
As he walks through the ash-covered streets, Marcus feels a growing pressure on his chest. The city looks like a huge, silent tomb. He sees the traces of interrupted lives, the remains of houses and petrified figures immortalized in the last fraction of their moments of pain and fear. The sight of Pompeii, which he loved so much, now presents itself as a field of desolation. Marcus tries to focus on his initial mission, to find his wife and son. But with every step he takes, he finds himself more trapped by the weight of the tragedy that surrounds him.
He arrives at the playground, where broken toys and vegetation take over the space that was once joyful. The swing moves slowly, as if the past were trying to catch up with the present. Marcus stops, looking closely at the toys. The image of his son playing there forms in his mind, but the vision quickly dissolves, replaced by a deep emptiness. He feels a sharp pain in his chest, as if the weight of the world were falling on him. The city, now just a reflection of loss and destruction, watches him silently, becoming a reflection of his own shattered soul.
Marcus heads toward the city center, where the remains of the ancient collapsed structures offer an even more oppressive backdrop. The walls of Pompeii, corroded by time and lava, now seem like a prison. He tries to focus on the mission of finding his wife and son, but soon finds himself haunted by visions of people he knows and couldn't save. Livia's face appears in his mind, but distorted, as if the ghost of the city had the power to shape reality at will. As he walks, the figures of his dead friends and comrades begin to take shape.
The figures appear and disappear around him, as if they had always been there waiting for him. The silence is broken only by the sound of his own labored breathing and the echo of footsteps that belong to no one. The figures seem to observe Marcus with silent accusation, as if his every movement were an affront to those who perished while he survived. He tries to push the visions away, but guilt envelops him more and more, like a weight he cannot lift from his shoulders. His mind, already overwhelmed with loss, begins to distort the images even further, turning the city into a place where death is a constant presence. As Marcus delves deeper into the ruins of the city, he finds himself trapped in a confrontation with his own memories and guilt. The shadows of people he failed to save begin to take shape before him. His clothes are soaked with sweat, but the air around him remains heavy and freezing. He feels the emptiness of the city around him, an echo of what has been lost. Each step he takes seems to take him deeper into a nightmare, where the images of the dead become increasingly real, and the weight of guilt prevents him from breathing easily. he begins to realize that the city is not just a field of ruins, but a place where the souls of those who died still wander, waiting for justice or redemption.
Marcus tries to find a way out, but the city, which now seems to have a life of its own, begins to distort his perception. He finds an ancient altar, and when he touches it, he is overwhelmed by visions of his friends and family, all petrified by lava, with empty eyes, as if accusing him of their survival. The feeling of hopelessness intensifies, and he begins to question his sanity. The city and the dead are consuming him. He finds himself increasingly immersed in madness, unable to distinguish reality from the visions his overwhelmed mind creates. The voices of the dead begin to intertwine, becoming a deafening cacophony.
In a last-ditch effort to understand what is happening, Marcus finds an ancient altar in the center of the city, covered in dust and marks of destruction. The altar, made of dark stones worn down by time, seems to be the last vestige of the ancient reverence of the inhabitants of Pompeii. The heat of the lava still emanates from the stones around it, but the atmosphere is eerily silent. Marcus approaches cautiously, feeling the weight of the city on his shoulders, as if each step toward the altar were a condemnation. As he touches the cold surface of the stone, a sensation of vibration runs down his spine, and he is overcome by visions of ancient ceremonies and religious rituals where priests sacrificed human lives to appease the gods. He sees imposing figures such as Jupiter, with his anger personified in Vesuvius, and the city at his feet being punished.
When he finally receives the revelation, the truth hits Marcus with the force of a punch in the stomach. He understands that the disaster was not just a natural catastrophe, but divine punishment. Vesuvius, now erupting, is not a simple volcanic eruption, but a manifestation of the wrath of the gods, furious at the excesses and sins of the inhabitants of Pompeii. The gods were demanding a sacrifice, and Pompeii was destroyed to purify the population. The city, with its pleasures and excesses, was cursed. Marcus, who survived the destruction, was not spared by luck, but rather as an element within the curse. His life is no longer a blessing, but an eternal condemnation. He was spared, but now he is trapped in the city, in its memory, and in the pain of the souls that perished.
Understanding the true reason behind the disaster consumes Marcus. He feels as if he has been condemned by the gods themselves. The city of Pompeii, with its silent screams and distorted images of the dead, is now alive within him, constantly reminding him of human and divine failure. He feels the city as a living entity that will not leave him alone, a force that holds him captive and constantly reminds him that his survival is a failure, not a miracle. The knowledge of Pompeii's curse drags him into an emotional abyss, where he begins to realize that he can never escape the city, for it is now part of him, like an immortal ghost, and his guilt will be eternal. He realizes with overwhelming clarity that his struggle is no longer for survival, but for acceptance that his life has been exchanged for the loss of others. Every ruin around him, every shadow on the walls, watches him with silent accusation.
At the climax of the story, Marcus finally accepts the weight of his survival. He is no longer the Roman soldier with certainties about his mission or his future. He now walks through the ruins of the city, feeling that Pompeii has swallowed him up. The pain of what happened, this suffering of the people he knew and loved, consumes him, and he feels the weight of the petrified bodies on his shoulders. The sky, always gray, seems darker, as if the clouds were a metaphor for his state of mind. In the distance, Vesuvius still spews thick smoke, a constant reminder that Although he physically escaped the eruption, the flames of disaster will never be extinguished within him.
As he walks through the ruins, he begins to accept what he has been unable to face. The city will never leave him because he was never truly free of it. The truth begins to dawn on him with painful clarity. His survival was not a gift, but a burden. The weight of guilt would accompany him forever. He could no longer see his life without the images of petrified figures or the voices of the dead echoing in his mind. When he looks at the horizon where Vesuvius still exhales smoke, he feels the weight of eternity, as if he were walking not toward the future, but toward a prison of endless memories.
In a moment of introspection, Marcus stops fighting the voices that torment him, the disfigured figures of people he couldn't save. He realizes that he can no longer try to rid himself of the weight of what happened, nor of the damned souls that surround him. He now accepts that the city will not let him go. As he leaves Pompeii for the last time, he looks at the ruins and the landscape that is now at peace. But the peace he hoped for does not come. He understands, finally, that there is no future without the past, and that Pompeii, with all its tragedies and the curse that accompanies it, will always be with him. His final journey is not to escape, but to live with the weight of tragedy, accepting what can never be erased.
If you found this journey through the ruins of Pompeii as gripping as we did, don't forget to give this video a like. Your support helps us bring more captivating historical narratives and untold stories to life. Subscribe to our channel for more immersive tales of ancient civilizations, untold tragedies, and powerful personal journeys that shape history. Join our community of history enthusiasts who are passionate about exploring the past and its darker, unspoken moments. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of these powerful stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Thank you for watching, and remember, every like, comment, and subscription keeps these incredible stories alive. Stay tuned for more, and let us know your thoughts on the tragic tale of Pompeii in the comments below. What other historical mysteries would you like us to explore next?
Thank you for watching Echoes of Pompeii, a tale of survival, guilt, and redemption. If this story touched you, be sure to hit that like button and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Your support is essential in bringing these captivating historical narratives to life, and every like helps us grow and reach more passionate viewers like you. Subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories of ancient civilizations, untold tragedies, and unforgettable journeys that explore the darker corners of history. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Join our community of history enthusiasts who crave deep, emotional tales about the past. We love to hear your thoughts, so share your ideas and feedback below. What historical mysteries should we explore next?